Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just seeing here if I'm live in the right place. I think I am live in the right place. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and I am Tabitha Yount. I'm the owner of Elegant Homes and Interiors, and I'm super excited to be here this evening. We are all about Tuesday Talks with Tabitha. I have notes here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. And I see Jason's on here. Somebody's on here with me tonight. And Barbara. Yay! Hi, Barbara. How are you? Always can rely on Barbara to be here with me. Okay, I am super excited to be here, guys. I have some wonderful things to announce, and I'm super excited that you're here. So when you come on here, tell me hello and tell me what you're doing this evening. And if you're watching this on replay, then tell me that it's on replay down below. And I'm just going to get started. Hello, Mary. Hello. So I'm seeing some more people on here. Okay, come on here and tell me hi. So I'm not feeling like I'm by myself. So I'm super excited to be back, guys. It feels like the week went really fast. I don't know about you guys, but I said that I was going to do these Tuesday Talks with Tabitha, and I just got my notification that I'm live. So there you go. I just got it. I said that I was going to do these every Tuesday, and man, it just feels like we just did this. So I'm super excited. Okay. What I wanted to let you guys know, one of my announcements is that Willow House sold, and I'm super excited about that. So everything inside there that we're not wanting to keep, we are going to have for sale in here. So this week we're going to be doing that. So if there's anything in the Willow House that you've seen that we posted, or you came to the Christmas open house, that stuff will be for sale in this page, on this page. So stay tuned for that, because this week we'll be posting all those things. So if you loved any of the furniture or the accessories or anything like that, it will be for sale. So stay tuned for that. Okay, guys, I'm super excited that you're here. Once again, I said that. And I'm going to talk about where to start your decorating this evening. I think that's really important. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because I went to a couple of different places this week, and it seems like women or men and couples or whoever it may be that I'm going to their house, this seems to be the trend of people asking me, where do I start? Whether it just be that they want to decorate their home, if it's wanting to decorate their office spaces, if they're wanting to decorate whatever it may be, if they're just wanting to decorate or they're wanting to renovate their houses. It just seems to be the same thing over and over, is where do I begin this journey? So I thought, this is a really good topic to start with, because it's the new year, and I know a lot of you are thinking, I really want to freshen up my home. I want to do all of those things. So I think that this is a really good topic, is where do I begin? And I think that a lot of people get really confused because they're like, I don't even know where to begin. That is the very first thing that I hear all the time is, where do we begin? What do we start with, Tabitha? Do we just tear into everything? So that's what we're going to break down tonight and tell you the different 5 different tips that you can do to start your decorating journey. And I'm going to kind of break it down into 2 different categories, whether you're wanting to decorate or you're just wanting to renovate. So I'll try to bring both of those in as examples for you, so that you know if you're in either one or versus another. Hello, Randy. Hello, Tina. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so let's get started. If you're wanting to just simply decorate and freshen everything up, I think that you would like to start small. I think the number one thing, even if you're just wanting to just freshen things up, and you're like, what is it? What am I wanting to do? If I'm wanting to decorate my home, I think the number one thing that people do is they get overwhelmed. If they look at their whole house as a whole, they're like, where do I start? So the number one thing I always tell everybody, number one thing is to start small. I don't really want you, unless you're just going to go in and just rehab the whole house, I really think you should start room by room and start in one area that means the most to you. If you're in it all the time, then I really think that's super important. When I go into people's houses, the first thing they're like, I want to do the living room, I want to do the dining room, I want to do the entryway, I want to remodel my kitchen, I want to do all the things. And then I think people start to realize, holy cow, this is a lot. This is a whole lot. And then they get overwhelmed, and then they either one or two things. They overspend, and then they don't think nothing about that, or they just shut down and they don't do anything. And then they realize another year goes by and nothing happens. So the one thing that I want to say for the number one thing is to start small. and look at one area that you really want to do and start with that area. And then once you've accomplished that, then you move to the next. I think that's super important, is to start small, if that makes sense. Okay, and one of the reasons I want to say that is because when you do all those areas, and if you don't have an interior designer or somebody like me that's helping you, what happens is if you don't have that help, then you definitely can make big, expensive decisions, and they can go really wrong really fast. And then they call me and then they're like, how do I change this, or how can I do that? So if you're thinking about renovations, I definitely say get some professional help. And even if you're decorating, I think about professional help too, just to bounce ideas and do things like that. So get in a coaching group or like a community or something like that. That really helps. But definitely start small and then work from there. A lot of people say, where do we start? What room do we start in when we start small? I say you always start from the door. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's the first thing that people see, and that might be the only space that people see when they come to your front door. Your UPS man might thank you in the long run for doing the front door. So always start small and then work your way in from there, if that's helpful. Okay, number 2. Take stock of what you have. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy and that sounds kind of crazy and all the things, but guys, we just hit January. We just got past January rather. And January is a month that I always try to tell everyone that you need to purge and get rid of the things and go through all the things. And I really think that's a super important step for all things in January and probably about 6 months in. But for now, I really think that you should really purge and get rid of those things that you've been hanging on to. But we did that last week, and we talked about the things that you need to do that. So moving forward, you need to take stock of what you have. And I'll tell you one of the one reasons that you need to do that is you don't have any clue how many people that I go into their houses and they say, Tabitha, I really don't like that. And I'm like, then why do you have it in your house? And they're like, I don't know. I really don't know why I have it in my house. I just left it because it's just what I do. I just come in, I leave the things, and I put them all there. So they just live with the same things because they're just used to coming in and doing all, they just come in, they go to work, and they leave the same things everywhere. So the number 2 thing is to take stock of what you have. Look around and see if you're doing that little space, no matter if it's an entryway or it's your front porch, look at those spaces, or it's your living room, wherever you're starting. Look at those spaces and see what you really like and what you really don't like, and take stock of that. If you don't like it, it's got to go. Even though you may have to think, okay, do I really care for this? Is this something I really want to keep a hold of? I think it's really important to take stock of what you have and what you don't have, because I think you'll really get true to yourself. Think me talking you through this. Is this something that I really like and this is something I want to keep, or can I let go of it and move on? So when you're doing that, that's number 1 thing. That's number 2 thing I want you to do. Start small, take stock, okay? Number 3, to create a budget. I know this is really ouch. Nobody likes to talk about this. When they hire me to do interior design services, or people even in my community, they talk about this all the time. They're like, dun, dun, dun. I know we all have to talk about it. Even with our husbands, with our spouses, if you're not married, if you are married, whoever, you have a partner, whatever may be the case, you have to talk about this. The budget is so important, guys, because you may have a really big budget or you may have a really small budget, but regardless of that, you have to decide what your budget is. And I think you need to be true to that and stay true to yourself, because guess what? You don't know how many homes I've went into to decorate, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. But the husband or the wife doesn't know that they're spending that much money. And no matter how gorgeous I make it, if you overspend, you're not going to like the space I decorate. So let me say that again. You have to decide what the budget is. Hello, Cheryl. So I'm super excited to tell you that you have to decide what the budget is, because you're going to like the space so much more. And you don't necessarily always have to spend a whole lot of money, whatever it is, if you're decorating. It's just about learning what your budget is and staying within those means. And you'll love the space even more. Okay, so talking about a budget is super important. Okay, if you've gotten through the start small, you know what space you're doing, you've created a budget, and you've taken stock of what you like, the number 4 thing is color. Okay, now you're starting to really get into the decorating process. And I really think this is super important. In our elegant community, we're talking about color all this month. And I think it is super important to talk about color. I could talk about color for days because honestly, color is you either have it right or you don't. And I go into so many homes that I'm like, this is the wrong color. In fact, I just drove by a house today, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to because I think this might be very important or very good information for some people. Okay, what you have, the colors inside your home, the colors that you use on side your walls are not going to be good colors for the outside of your home. Now let me say that again. The colors that you put on your walls are not going to be the right colors for your exterior. Exterior colors and interior colors are two different things. You may love the color that's inside, but exterior colors are completely different. And unfortunately, a customer of mine figured that out really quickly today. So when you're painting your house and you're deciding to paint inside or outside, interior or exterior, if I could talk, words are really hard, then you have to decide, you have to realize that they're not the same in natural light. So it's very important that you go and you look at different colors and different lightings, whether you're putting them inside or outside. I recommend you to do that. Even if you have a room that has lots of windows or things like that, it's super important to paint a little, if you just even have like a little swatch like this, like a little piece of paper or whatever, put that paper, go in there and paint it and leave it there for like a couple of days and make sure that you're seeing it in all the different light because it will change. It will change. It'll pull greens, it'll pull beiges and all the things. So it's super important to do that. I can't tell you enough how important that is, especially your front doors. I think a lot of people are like, well, I put that color in my dining room and I want to use it on all throughout. It's so important to use exterior colors for outside versus inside. So I hope that's helpful for you guys today. But color is super important because it really is the format of your whole house. And if you don't have that right, especially right from the get-go, it pulls everything way off. Nothing, no accessory, no sofa, no chair, nothing in the world is going to make that right. So if you're gonna pay for any service or do anything, I definitely recommend somebody to help you with the colors on your walls. Okay, so that's number 4. So now we're already down to number 5. Dun, 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 dun. The number 5 thing I think that you need to do. Hi Pam, how are you? Okay, number 5. I think the number 5 should be pinpoint your style. Crickets. Okay, I say this because I have done this for so many years. I see so many people go in and we're in people's homes. I can decorate in pretty much any style that you want. I'm a pretty traditional person and I think that seems pretty easy for me to go in and decorate your house in tradition. And you can mix. Let me say this from the beginning. You can mix styles if you know how to do it cohesively. The biggest thing that I see people know is they really don't know their style and they're trying to mix all these different things. They're out shopping with their good friends and this friend might like Southwest and this friend might like traditional and this friend might like a little bit of rustic and they're trying to mix all of this and the next thing they know they've hired someone like me and then they just have all these things laying around and they're like, how do I make this work? And that's a really hard thing because it really is very hard to mix those things. So it's really important to know what really inspires you and your style. Now, I'm going to kind of give you some different tips about to kind of know what your style is. I think this is an important thing. Being in Elegant Homes and Interiors, we can kind of show you what you like. If you like my page, you pretty much like more of a French country look, a more traditional look with a little touch of a little bit of modern in there. There's a lot of modern sometimes. You know, there's all different styles in here, but as you go through my page and you're looking at different things, you can see all kinds. There's a little bit of rustic in there. There's farmhouse for sure. So as you're looking through Pinterest and all these different areas, what inspires you? What brings you the most happiness? That's what you need to know. And when you're pinning these things or you're looking through magazines, that's one way of knowing what your style is. Asking your best friend what style you have is not the way to pick that out. You really need to go through those different things and pick that out. And what I'm going to tell you is if you start doing that and you do more of that, you're going to find the same things keep coming back to you that make you happy and inspire you to do that. So this is so important, guys, because if you know what your decorating style is, then when you go to decorate or you go to buy things when you're out, you don't buy just simultaneously. Like, I can really appreciate most things, but I don't usually buy Southwest things, not for my home. I usually don't buy real super modern things because that's not my style. But I can really appreciate it in all styles, in all things. Does that make sense to anybody? So what you need to do is you need to hone down on these 5 tips that I've given you so that you, when you're out shopping and you're doing all the things, you don't spend endless money that you don't really need to. And I think that you'll have more cohesive in your home. So, okay guys, I hope this was super helpful to you guys, because this is the kind of things that we do in the elegant community and when you hire us to do our interior design services. And I think that this is super helpful. And I've just noticed the last few times that I've been working with people, they're so overwhelmed when I come in there. They're not even sure where to begin. And I'm like, I think we're going to start there. Is where do we start our decorating journey? And I think this is really, truly a very good step. And I'll put these steps in the message up here board, up at the message board, so you can go through them and kind of go through this. But definitely share this if you think some of your friends or family can use this, and you can go back and watch it again. So if you thought this was helpful, give me some thumbs up and tell me thank you. No, you don't have to do that. Hello, Nicole. I'm so glad to see you guys. There's lots of you guys on here. Thank you guys for being here. And I will be here every Tuesday for Tuesday Talks with Tabitha. And I'll have lots of helpful hints, and we'll do some shopping and all kinds of things together. So thanks so much for being here, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.